So Ghost of Yotei, the shillery that's happening for it is through the roof, because they're trying to say, oh, you can cut grass, guys. You can cut grass. I don't know if you know, but you can cut grass. That's a huge selling point, guys. You can cut grass. They're trying to make it seem as if this game is like a million times better, I suppose, than the previous one. And I've always said from the beginning that there's no doubt that this game is going to sell. You know, my question is, just like the other games, just like with Borderlands 4, which was proven exactly what I said, I don't know if this game is going to sell anywhere near what the original Ghost of Tsushima did. That's where I will personally be curious. But they're pushing this video around. They're pushing this video around, and they're trying to say Ghost of Yotei is next gen, right? Ghost of Yotei is next gen because you can cut grass, guys. And oh, shout out to Sebi for the raid. Thank you, Sebi. Appreciate that. Damn, we got a Vera Dark raid and a Sebi raid. That's crazy, bro. Holy shit. So this reminds me eerily about the Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Assassin's Creed Shadows advertising. If you guys remember, they were trying to push the Assassin's Creed Shadows advertising with the bamboo cutting. They were like, "Oh, look, you can cut bamboo. You could take your sword, or you could take your weapon and just cut bamboo, guys. That's next generation." Like they literally tried to call it next generation because you can cut bamboo. It's like, bro, you've been able to do that in games for years. Like, are you serious right now? There were games that were all the way back on the original PlayStation that allowed you to fucking cut bamboo. Are we seriously trying to say that this is next gen because you can fucking cut bamboo? And now they're doing it again. Gee, I wonder why. Now they're like, oh, look, guys, you can cut grass. You too can be a Mexican and cut grass today. And they're trying to say, oh, it's next gen. It's next gen because you can cut grass. Like, bro, what are you talking about, man? You've been able to cut grass since like the fucking GameCube or earlier than that, bro. It's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? So listen, all the shills have gotten their NPC download, and they've been told to push this particular video. So we're going to watch this video because they really want us to see this video. So let's see this video and see what is so next generation. Let's see. Seriously? This is the next generation, boys. This is the next generation, boys. So they're trying to say, okay, so Ghost of Yotei is so amazing because now when you swing your weapon, if you swing it over a grass terrain, it's gonna react and it's gonna cut the grass. Okay, that's impressive, I guess. I mean, like, what the fuck do you want me to say to that? What do you want me to say? You mean to tell me that we need to potentially accept, because again, how does this improve anything, right? Ghost of Tsushima had an amazing story. Jin Sakai's story as the ghost and the fact that you had to make the choice as the player between doing things the honorable way and doing things the way of the ghost in order to get things actually done. And the what do you call it? The effects that it had on your relationship with your uncle and just overall the world around you and how they reacted to you if you became more and more of the ghost. I mean, it was such an amazing fucking story. It was like watching a movie almost. So it was like unbelievable. So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to just sacrifice all that and be like, well, I can cut grass now? I can cut grass now? Mind you, everything else looks the fucking same from a detail perspective, right? Which, again, we have, I don't know if they have it here, I don't know if they have it here. There was a post where they were trying to showcase. I guess this is one of them. Screenshots of the game. I'm like, bro, this looks exactly like Tsushima. I don't know why you're trying to pitch this as this is like graphically so far ahead. Increased visual quality, including massive sightlines with auroras and stars. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Tsushima looked incredible. This literally looks like Tsushima. This gameplay right here looks like Tsushima. There was a post that was doing texture comparisons. I don't know where the fuck where did it go? God damn it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here we go. So Kami says Ghost of Tsushima versus Ghost of Yotei graphics comparison. Yotei adds the following: sharper textures and character models, better draw distances, better lighting, snow deformation, grass and small trees can be cut, fire actually leaves burn marks, better smoke effects, better volumetric clouds, better character models, and more. What? Like, sincerely, what? With all due respect, I don't know this guy. Again, this is nothing against Kami, what I'm about to say. But with all due respect, the top one looks better than the bottom one, in my opinion. I gotta be real. I'm fucking sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta be real. Though the smoke in the background, the volumetric effects, everything, look, the fog, all of that shit looks amazing, in my opinion. The top one looks better than the one on the bottom. And I'm being so real with you right now. Just in this picture comparison, right? Maybe if you add some fog in the bottom one, it wouldn't look that way. But for what I can see, there is fog. They added a little bit of fog here. It just don't look as good. It don't look as good. It looks sharper. It definitely looks sharper. I'll give you that. But this looks a million times fucking better, bro. I'm sorry. I don't like. I gotta be real with you, man. I don't think this is a good comparison that he put up here. I think that might be the fault of him maybe putting the screenshot. And again, bro, we really looking at trees right now? We really looking at trees? The tree on the left looks good. The tree on the left, it looks like a dead tree. The tree on the right looks like it has a little bit more life. But like, what are we seriously doing here? This looks the same. This looks like it's underwater on the left, and this looks like it's not on the right. Like, what? This looks the same, bro. Where is the increased fidelity? I don't get it. I don't understand. Bro, this looks amazing on both sides. It's the same fucking game on both sides. It's the same game, bro. What are we sincerely? The background is blurred on the left. The background is blurred on the right. Nobody's gonna fucking care about any of this shit. So here's the question. The question becomes, why are they focusing on so much of the smaller details that nobody actually is gonna focus on when they're playing this game? Why are they focusing on the small details in order to shill for the game, or to try to make people think that Ghost of Yotei is so far ahead of Tsushima? The reason why they're doing that is because the stuff that matters is either lacking or it's at equal value to Tsushima. So at this point, the only thing that could separate Yotei from Tsushima is superficial nonsense, like the fact that you can cut grass. It is the most stupid fucking thing that I've ever seen in my life. Like, these people are trying to utilize the smallest, most bare, nonsensical bullshit to separate this game from the first. But the simple truth is that there's nothing that separates it in any meaningful way. What about the story? What about the combat? I've only seen one person talk about the combat, and they basically said it's almost identical to Tsushima. So what are we doing? Are we seriously focusing on cutting grass now? Cassie says the fact that there isn't even a debate when they are a console generation different from each other. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Tsushima was originally a PS4 game. Now it has a PS5 release, obviously. But look at the way these two look. Guys, I want to focus on this first picture. This is the one that really sells it for me. This is the one that sells it for me. If you are trying to come up here and say that Yotei is so far ahead of Tsushima, when Tsushima looks like that at the top and Yotei looks like that on the bottom, like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. We are not talking about what matters here when it comes to this game. Nobody is asking about. So when people are going to Yotei, nobody is saying, "Hey, can you cut grass now?" Because that's going to be the deciding factor for me. Or hey, can you set the grass on fire? Because or how about those tree textures? Can I look at a tree? Is it going to have more bumps? Because that's what's gonna sell it for me. Or what about the rocks? Can I see more rocks? Because that's what's gonna sell it for. Like, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. But for some reason, when you look at every single fucking post, they're all talking about the same thing. Rhino over here, hardcore shill, talking about grass deformation. Great job, bro. Wow. This is hilarious. Tectone is hilarious, by the way. Again, Kami, same thing. I don't know if he's a shill or not, but same thing. Talking about the most minuscule bullshit. It's almost as if they all got the same download and they're pushing out the same nonsense. Almost every single one. This one, look, terrific story. You'll slowly grow to love Atsu. I highly doubt that because everything else you talk about, lighting, astounding visuals, wolf, combat is creative. What, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What are we doing? Let me scroll down. Again, Genki, same thing. Talks a little bit more about the story, which is good. I'll give him credit for that. Kami again, same trailer. They're all pushing out the same shit. Same shit. So I don't know, guys. At this point, there's no doubt in my mind that Ghost of Yotei is going to sell. I've said this many times before. My question is whether or not it's going to sell as much as the first one, right? Because last I remember, they didn't have to do this for the first game. They didn't have to talk about whether or not you could cut the grass or you could cut bamboo or whatever. Like, the first one sold because it was an amazing video game. And as word of mouth spread, people bought that shit up. I'll tell it to you like this. Ghost of Tsushima set records in Japan. Okay? Ghost of Tsushima set records in Japan that was unheard of for a Western game like that. But it did it anyway. Tsushima sold within the first week over 200,000 copies. Within the first week in Japan for a Western video game. So my thing is, I'm very curious to see what Yotei is going to do. How is Yotei going to compare it to Tsushima? Because it could still sell millions of copies. But when you're going up against a video game that sold double the amount of millions of copies, and you're at half or even less, and you're trying to pretend like that's a win, I don't know, bro. That sounds like cope. That's a lot of what happened with Borderlands. I keep using Borderlands as an example because what happened with Borderlands is exactly what I said was going to happen. Borderlands 3, the only reason why it sold the way that it sold was because it was built off the hype of Borderlands 2, which is most people's favorite Borderlands. And then when people got their hands on Borderlands 3, they realized it's not what they thought, and it ended up being hated by a lot of people. So I thought personally that Borderlands 3, since a lot of people hated it, the hype for that particular, or the lack of hype for that game was going to trickle into Borderlands 4, and Borderlands 4 was going to sell nowhere near what Borderlands 3 did in the same amount of time. And that's exactly what happened. Borderlands 3 sold 5 million copies in 5 days. Borderlands 4 sold 2.5 million copies in 2 weeks. That's not only half the amount of copies, but that's half the amount of copies in double the amount of time. So I wonder if the same thing is going to happen here, right? The game is not going to be considered a flop because, well, it's going to sell millions of copies, I got to imagine. But the thing is, how is it going to compare it to Tsushima is going to be the big question. That's going to be the big question. So I'm curious to see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who gives a fuck? We're allowed to be wrong. It happens every now and then. But lately, this shit has been so easy to predict. I don't know. Especially with all the drama that's going on, you're absolutely going to lose some sales. It's not going to be a lot, but you're going to lose some sales from what happened with Erika Ishii, man. You know, this picture is gonna definitely come to haunt you at some point in time, even if it's a little bit. Even if it's a little bit, it's gonna happen. So we shall see. Brad says this game has to sell 7 million copies to break even. I bet it only sells 4 to 5 million. I gotta be real with you. If this game is not supported by Japan like the first one was, I don't see this game selling, at least in the first month. I don't see it selling more than like 3.5, 4 million in the first month. Let's see. Let me find out. Hold on. Let me look at the numbers. So, how many copies did Ghost, let's see, of Tsushima sell in the first month? Let's see. Let's see. So, Ghost of Tsushima sold over 1.9 million digital units in the first month of sale, which was a record for a PS4 exclusive. The game also sold 2.4 million copies in its first 3 days, setting a new benchmark for first-party PS4 titles in Japan and worldwide. Okay, so this game sold about 5 million copies within the first month. Give or take, maybe a little bit less, like 4.5 million. It sold about 4.5 to, let's just say 4.5 to 5 million copies within the first month of the game going live, with a lot of it being in Japan. So if this game does not hit hard in Japan, if Yotei doesn't hit as hard as Tsushima did in Japan, there's going to be a big problem for this game. So it needs to sell decent in Japan, or better. If it could get better, that'll be great for the game, but we'll see. Get that thing off screen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot it was on screen.